Hi, my name is Rhonda Brown, and I'd like to talk to you about helping students realize their learning norms. So, first, to help students realize their learning norms, we need to help students realize what it is they want from school. What are their likes and dislikes? What does the student have an interest in learning about? What does the student have an aptitude for? And what experiences can we as a school provide to help the student determine a post-school path? This all boils down to helping them explore their options. Next, we need to help a student determine their learning goals. So, what steps will be taken to achieve the student's educational and employment goals? How do they get where they want to go? How can learning be connected to those educational or career goals? And also, let's be prepared to explain to students how their learning is applicable to helping them reach those goals. Furthermore, we need to determine how the school can help the students reach those goals. So we need to be talking to students about their education and how that education is going to help them reach the goals they have for their own life. We need to guide students so that they can take elective courses that will help them reach their goals and prepare for their future careers. We need to help students determine what they need to do in order to achieve success and reach their educational and vocational goals. So it's not just about helping them realize what the school needs to do for them, but also what they themselves need to do so that they can reach those educational and vocational goals. Now, our resource talked about relationships being something that the students should be able to expect from their school, and I would agree with that. Staff needs to make sure that they know the students' interests, preferences, and aptitudes. Staff also needs to help students foster relationships, and not just relationships with the staff, but relationships with peers, mentors, teachers, community members, future employers, and other people that can help them along the way and that are important relationships for them to develop to realize their goals. Staff needs to help students realize the relevance of their education. So staff should help students determine why they're doing the things that they're doing and how those educational activities prepare them for their future, whether that future is going on to college, going on to a vocational school, going straight to work, or going into some sort of a training or apprenticeship program. How does what we're doing now help prepare you for that? And what opportunities can staff offer students to help build those skills that are needed for future educational and career success? Additionally, learning pace. So is the pace of the learning individualized for each student? Do they have access to learning in different modalities to ensure that they have maximum learning? So do they have access to visual learning, audio learning, learning where they actually have hands-on learning, things like that? Can they learn in the way that benefits them the most? And can students go over material more than once if they don't understand it? Do we offer those opportunities for students to go back and redo learning if they didn't quite get it the first time, so that we can make sure that they understand before they move on to another concept that builds on the concept that we've just taught that they maybe didn't quite understand? Next is the sequence of learning. Can students learn information in their own sequence? So do they have to learn information in a pre-directed sequence that is like that of their peers? Now, that is somewhat determined when learning builds on other learning. So sometimes, for instance, you have to learn how to add before you can learn how to multiply. You have to learn how to count on in order to add. So things like that have a pre-directed sequence that has to be followed in order for students to have the background knowledge that they need in order to learn a new concept. But when there is a choice, are they given a choice of what sequence they're going to learn in? And can students question that sequence of learning? Is it okay for them to say, I don't understand why we're learning this now? Can we learn something else, or can I learn something else first? Additionally, play. We know that play is important in the grand scheme of things. It's important for people to be able to relax. It's important for people to develop the social relationships that come with play. And it's important for students to have fun while they learn, and to be able to just relax and have fun in general. So is there time during the day for students to play and socialize and build those social skills? And can learning be accomplished through some fun activities that are more like play? And are staff members using any teachable moments that may occur during play to encourage organic learning? So are they learning those times to, are they using those times to help students learn? For instance, with younger students, maybe we use some playtime out on the playground to help learn colors. Let's go slide down the red slide, or kick the green ball, things like that. Are they using those organic learning moments to make sure that we're teaching in those moments and making it fun and making it like play? Additionally, practice. Are there opportunities for students to apply the learning and practice practice using what they've already learned in real world situations, or building on their learning organically in a constructivist way? And does the student's education build upon learning by having them generalize what they've learned to other situations? So can they connect what they've learned in school with what they will then have to do on a job or out in the community? Teaching them to generalize that learning and use what they already know is important to teaching problem-solving skills. Also, choice. Do students have any choices about learning? Do we give them choices when we have the ability to give them choices? Are there multiple ways for students to show what they know? We talked earlier about multiple ways for students to learn things, multiple modalities for them to learn them in, whether that's learning things through written language, auditorily, through actually putting hands on, things like that. But are there also different ways for them to show what they know? Are they able to, say if they are giving a presentation about a book, are they able to choose what type of presentation that is? Are they able to make a poster or make a PowerPoint presentation, or make a game that shows that they understood the content? Are there different ways for them to show that? And also, do students get to choose an educational path that is appropriate for them based on their needs, their abilities, their interests, and their future educational and career goals? Or are we just kind of pushing students down one prescribed path? Do they get a choice or not? Again, authenticity, and I apologize, I'm not able to get my my video to move over so that you can see that better. But do students have a reason to do the work that they do in school? Is it just busy work? Are we just giving them something to keep them busy? And is the work they do just so they can get a grade and move on to the next step? Or is there some relevance to that as it applies to what they want to do in life, or to everyday life as an adult outside of school? Also, is the work they do valuable outside of school? Is it something that an employer is going to value? Is it something that community members are going to value? And will the work they do help them to advance toward their future educational and career goals? So are we actually doing something that is relevant and that is helpful for them to get where they want to go in life? It's important too to challenge students, and students should expect challenge from their schools. So is the work that they complete appropriately challenging for their personal level? Is it too easy or too hard for the student? We often see behaviors when work is too easy or too hard. That's when we see behaviors coming out in students that have some behavioral challenges. And is the work assigned within their proximal zone of development for that particular student? So is the work appropriate to challenge them enough that they are still learning, but also to not be so challenging that it's not a reachable goal. And application, are the students given the opportunity to apply what they know to situations outside of the school environment? Do we tell them why we teach them to figure area? Because that can help you figure how much carpeting you'll need in your house when you grow older, or that can help you figure how many square feet your garden will be, or that can help you figure how much wrapping paper you need to cover a box. Are they allowed and even encouraged to question how what they are learning will benefit them in their future educational and career settings? So, do we encourage students to critically think about the material that they are learning and critically think about whether or not that is going to be applicable to them later in life? All right, this is the presentation that was our reference for this module. I did add some things in there just from my own personal experience. This had 10 identified areas, and I think I added 4 additional ones just from my own personal experience in the schools. Here's my standards correlation. So the standard asked us to reflect on, communicate about, cultivate, and model professional dispositions and norms. And so obviously this correlates to the standard by requiring me to reflect on the ways that I can help students determine their own learning norms, what they want out of their education and their school, teachers and administrators, and how those people can help them reach their educational and career goals. How is this assignment relevant to my current learning? It is relevant to my current learning because it allowed me to reflect upon the ways in which teachers and administrators can help students realize their educational and career goals by determining what they need to learn and how they can ensure that their learning is appropriate and relevant to their future goals, and also how the administrators, teachers, and school as a whole can help them get there. So that is extremely relevant to my current learning. And reflection, how this assignment is relevant to my future position as a building leader. So reflecting on how this is relevant as I become a building leader, it's required me to explore the ways in which I can help students realize their educational and career goals, and the ways that I can also coach teachers that I work with to do the same for students and help them realize why they're learning what they're learning and how the school can help them learn what they're learning. All right, that's all for now. Thank you very much.